In our growing state, fire departments are busier than ever, but the number of volunteer firefighters are dwindling in number. I'm Anita Brown-Graham. This is NC Impact.
NC Impact is made possible by funding from Civic Federal Credit Union and is a public media North Carolina production in association with the University of North Carolina School of Government.
The number of volunteer firefighters is dropping. This has sparked some serious creativity in areas seeking to recruit for this public service. Let's begin with a look in Orange County.
I taught therapeutic horseback riding for about 10 years at the North Carolina Therapeutic Horseback Riding Center. And on June 4th, 2013, I was finishing up a class and got caught in between two horses that were kicking at each other and was kicked in the head. I remember right before the accident, and then I remember waking up in the hospital unable to speak. And the fact that there are people out there who are willing to volunteer and do that to handle these situations, it's so important. I firmly believe that their quick response time was instrumental in my recovery and how well I did.
On the morning of April 1st, I got a phone call. This is no joke, that's the way they started it. Your apartment's on fire. Some of the firefighters said, what's in there that we can get out? And it's like, it's not your TV set, it's your photo albums and personal things, and they went into it while it was still burning, and they're hand carrying things out of the apartment. How do you pay that back? I joined the club. There's just a feeling you can't explain as you're out on the interstate working a wreck and child's parents are loaded onto the ambulance and you're holding a 3-year-old. They eventually get on and ride to the hospital with their parents, but you know you're making a difference.
Firefighting leaders say it's best to recruit potential firefighters when they're young. Dozens of high schools across the state offer firefighting classes. Orange County has 2 interesting programs.
Drag it around the cone.
If you don't keep folks interested, they're not going to hang around. They'll get bored and they'll find something else to do with their time. We've been able to kind of bolster our numbers in the last 2 years, and it's actually been much better.
A lot of the people who live in this community work outside of the community. They work in Durham or Raleigh or Chapel Hill or the Research Triangle Park. And they travel from this community to those work areas. And there's not the time or the availability during the day, particularly during the day, for volunteers to respond to calls. And that's a big change, and it's affected not only this department, but fire departments everywhere.
So historically, to be a volunteer, you had to live in a really close proximity so you could get to the fire station in a timely manner. We started allowing our volunteers to sleep here. And in doing that, we had people that lived on the other side of Durham, in other counties, and from near and far. It also allowed for people that work a typical day job to spend their nights and weekends here if they so choose, instead of having to respond to a certain percentage of the calls. We implemented a program and we called it New Hope Bucks. What it was we kept track of the number of calls you ran, the number of hours you spent at the fire station, the training hours you had, and once we figured out a formula for that, we came up with a monetary value and paid people out of the firefighters fund, which is separate from the tax money, however much money they earn, up to $500. So hopefully things continue to move forward and look up, and we don't have to make any of the tough decisions that we would have to make if things went the other way.
Many areas of North Carolina rely on volunteers to operate fire departments. We found one community with a unique way of convincing locals to serve.
These cars are designed to take the impact and to save the occupant inside.
I guess I didn't really know what I wanted to do as a career, and I kind of got approached that they were starting this program, and I thought it was really interesting, and I didn't really have any other electives I wanted to take, so I thought if nothing else I'd have fun during the class. But once I started taking it, I kind of realized that it's like a legitimate career option, and that I liked it a lot and I could pursue it.
The high school fire programs are excellent ways for students to make that transition into adulthood. So not only does it benefit them and give them opportunities for careers, or then also even if it's something they want to do on the side and just be a good steward in their communities where they live and give back to the communities as volunteer firefighters.
What we believe is that this will instill some interest back in the fire service from our local kids and give our local kids something to do and grow some role models and have a career track locally where they don't have to go somewhere else. They're developing some great skills, and so if they can contribute in a non-career way to public safety, whether it's a volunteer firefighter or a paramedic or EMT on the side, that's a win for us. And it's also an opportunity for us to have some kids understand what we do.
It is pretty amazing to me that they're putting forth such effort for us to get these certifications and get qualified to do these jobs, and it really is helpful, and I think it pushes more people towards these type of careers, to emergency services careers, because when people graduate, they don't really know that. I don't think they have a direction of how to get into the fire department or how to get into being an EMT or something like that. The classes really give you a direction towards that.
Learn more about NC Impact's quest to fund collaborations in action all across North Carolina. Visit unctv.org/NCImpact.